Come along with me for a day on my regenerative flower and vegetable farm. My farm is Flower Child Farms. It's a zone 4B in New England, and it's my first year farming for myself anyway. I farmed with another organic farmer locally last year, and I've gardened for 4 to 5 years at my property now. And this year I am farming. I'm growing some produce and flowers for a local farmers market, and I wanted to take you along on my day. So this is a little sneak peek into what I'm doing here on the farm. This is my brandy new backpack sprayer, and I am doing a foliar spray of fish emulsion on all my flowers here. I say all my flowers. These are my annual beds. I have some perennial beds in another location. And it's kind of a satisfying thing to do, so I'm enjoying it. Please enjoy all the bird sounds that I get to listen to while I'm out working in my garden. I think the most loud, obvious one is an indigo bunting, which is adorable. And yeah, this is the good life. I am rocking my pajamas here because, as most farmers or gardeners know, the best thing ever is to walk around your garden in the morning with a cup of coffee. And I'm pretty sure I set my coffee down somewhere and got distracted and realized that this needed to be done. So I stayed in my pajamas. And that is how things are done here on the farm. They are not done in any specific order other than harvesting in the morning or the evening. In these beds, I have some dahlias all the way over to the left, some zinnias to the left of where I'm standing now. I'm currently spraying some poppies and lemon basil, and at the end of the bed I'm at, there is also some gomphrena. To the right of the bed I'm spraying is some yarrow. I planted some echinops, which is blue globe thistle, which probably won't do much this year, but it will come back year after year. That one bed has become my perennial bed. Some larkspur reseeded. That yarrow that I'm spraying is growing out of control. There's some feverfew. As you can see, that's all the yarrow. The feverfew is behind it. And then over to the right of that, you can see there's some small trellising. And it's my first time ever growing sweet peas. So there's sweet peas in that bed. And then I grew lisianthus this year, which is notoriously difficult to grow. And I think 6 of my 50 survived. So that's exciting. And we'll see if they flower. I live in a very challenging zone as far as my time for growing. We only really have frost-free days from June 1st to maybe September 1st if we're lucky. Last year, I think our first frost was on August 27th. A light frost, but still, it'll kill the basil. And the gomphrena didn't survive really last year. So any of the stuff that really can't handle any cold just doesn't tend to do too well, even with a light frost. I do have frost cloth this year, though, so that's super helpful. My passion for flowers really started when I grew my flowers for my wedding last year, and I grew mostly dried flowers last year, and this year I'm into more of the fresh cutting flowers. But I think in some ways I was more successful last year than I am now that I'm growing for market. And so it's just interesting to know that nobody's perfect, everybody's learning, and as long as you're having fun, that's what matters. But my favorite part's coming up, the harvesting. Now I'm just going to do some light harvesting. This is Seduction Yarrow, I believe is the name of it. It's a beautiful bright pink, and I'm going to harvest some, put it directly into some really cold water, and then put it into the fridge for the market on Sunday. This is probably one of my favorite tasks because it's just so satisfying to watch the jar fill up or the bucket fill up. Right now there's not a lot coming on just because we've only had stuff in the ground for less than a month, but it is still really fun to harvest things and watch them grow, and arranging bouquets is really fun too, but there's a little bit more stress in that than there is in just cutting the flowers. Hi, buddy. And there's my cat. That's Trek. I'm just doing a little bit of deadheading on this dianthus here, basically cutting off the flowers that either got kind of mushy from the rain. We've had a very rainy spring, summer here so far, which is great, less watering for me, but some of the flowers don't take it as well. And hopefully I'll get another flush of flowers. These are not very tall, but my mini bouquets do quite well, and these are too cute to not have around, so. I also have some dairy sheep here on the farm, and every day or couple of days, depending on the rate of growth of the grass, I have to move their fence. So this is me moving their electric netting, which if you know how frustrating it can be, especially by yourself if it tangles. But the best part is watching me try to wrangle the sheep. So coming up is, luckily my girl Molly is a little bit better, but just wait. You'll see. So that's my brother and myself carrying my sheep Molly, who is the only one that really listens, into her shed because, well, wrangling sheep is not for the faint of heart. I love them very dearly, but they can be a real pain in the butt. I have a crazy flea beetle problem here. So covering my brassicas is a constant task. Anytime I weed, I have to uncover. Anytime I harvest, I have to uncover and then recover as soon as I'm done. I need sandbags. This is not the best way. It's not holding the cloth down well enough, but it's better than what it would be if they weren't covered at all, because the flea beetles will just decimate my brassica crop in like 0.2 seconds. I grow in what I call a regenerative agriculture method here, and that's part of why I have more insect pressure than some may. I do not spray any pesticides or herbicides. I use a lasagna type gardening method, so I put down cardboard and then cover that with manure or compost depending on the beds. And in the walkways, I cover cardboard with wood chips, which is wonderful for weed suppression, and the plants love the nutrient-dense soil, but I definitely struggle with some pests. I do some interplantings of different things which can help to deter the pests a bit, and I also plant tons of different herbs and flowers and alliums to hopefully decrease the amount of pests in my garden, but they're never gone, and we bring in the birds, so hopefully the birds will keep some of the other pests at bay as well. We'll see how it goes throughout the season. And a little bit of compost turning for you. This is 2 weeks old.